Hey guys, before the video starts, I just want to let you know that all three of my books, Powerless Book 1 Potential, Powerless Book 2 Imagination, and Powerless Book 3 The Academy, are all on sale now at Amazon.com. If you want more, please message me on Instagram or Facebook, Powerlessbybr, and I can get a signed copy shipped out to you. Now, enjoy the video.
On you.
The storyline basically follows the lives of Marcus Samuels and Essence. Marcus is this one guy, black guy who graduates college, tries to find his place in the world. You know, he has that mindset where he's always thinking down on himself. He doesn't think he can achieve greatness. He just wants to chill. You know, and we all have that mindset. Once you graduated, you just didn't want to do anything for a while. You wanted to relax, enjoy not having to wake up for classes, enjoy not having a job for a while or something like that. You just wanted a vacation, and that's his mindset at the beginning of the book. You know, Essence is the straight gung-ho badass of the book. She's the other female protagonist. She's the only main female protagonist in the book so far, and there's not really much I can say about her that doesn't describe her with just the word badass. You know, she's an assassin, she's a bodyguard, she's 4'11", and she kicks ass. The characters themselves are based on two good friends of mine. I see these two people as a brother and sister in real life. Marcus is based on one of my best friends, Jarrell, and Essence is based on my best friend, Shanice. So, yeah, I think I nailed their personalities down with that.
What made you come up with like the storyline itself? And like, we can start with book one, or you can do like the overall, storyline. But so these characters are based off of your friends, but how did you like
The story, okay.
wrap them all together into this big story?
To explain it, it's kind of weird. The way I write my books are off-center. I actually wrote the second book was actually the first book I ever wrote, and then I wrote the first book after I wrote the second. So that's why I was able to tie in so much from the first book into the second and stuff like that. But the way I write, the characters, I create the world and the situations, and I just drop the characters in there, you know? And I have my mindset on how a character would react in the situation because I know how that person in real life would react. So it just a part of using my imagination to put them in this world. It's like playing a game of Dungeons and Dragons, you know? Except I'm the dungeon master and the players. So that's the best way to describe it. The Powerless series as a whole, well, for the people close to me that know me, they know I have 9 books planned for this series, and I've only released 2 so far. The third one will be out this summer, 2019. And I plan on just doing a book every year to move the story along, because I wrote these stories in high school, you know. So as I got older, I was always stuck in a shell, so I didn't want to, like, you know how sometimes an artist won't show their work to certain people because they're afraid of how they might take it. It took my cousin and a friend of mine, my cousin Cassidy, you know, checking out the book to actually push me into actually wanting to get it out to the world. And it took my friend Kiana to kick my ass into pushing the publish button to get it to the world. And ever since then, we've just been rolling. The team has been growing, you know, team of editors, engineers, game designers, clothing designers. We have it all in the Powerless team, and I'm just blessed to have these people in my life.
Now, I'm looking at the definition of the word powerless. It says powerless is an adjective, and it pretty much means without ability, influence, or power.
Yeah.
Your books are the complete opposite of that, but that's a good thing. When you were writing the books, did you ever take into account the meaning of the word powerless?
Yeah. And I use the word powerless because the main characters, especially Marcus, mainly Marcus, you know, his ability is just to sense where other people is. And even though he has a power, he doesn't feel like he has a power. It's not something he feels like he can use for anything good. So in a way, he still feels powerless, you know. And there are people in the books without powers who can do more than him. They don't feel powerless. He feels powerless in their presence. So that's why I still wanted to use the word. I wanted it to be a play on words, so to speak. You know, where people feel like, yeah, I can do all this. Because there are millionaires who have more money than us who still feel they're not good enough. You know, power doesn't always have to mean your ability. It could mean your mental state, it could be anxiety, it could be anything.
Would you change your book to please the masses?
No. There are too many artists in the world right now that change what they make just to please the masses. And it's all for money. I don't do this for money. I do this because this is my baby. This is something that was in my mind and my imagination that I wanted to get out and create. So you take it as it is or you don't, you know? And I treat my books like my baby. If I had a daughter and I like her hair in pigtails and she likes her hair in pigtails, and you say your daughter would look better with braids, you should put her in braids, fuck you. It's mine. I do with it what I want. So that's how I feel about my art. And I think more artists should feel that way in this day and age. You know, unless you're doing a commission piece with somebody, anything you create is beautiful, that's beautiful to you, don't change it. It's yours. Fuck society. Fuck what everybody thinks. As long as you love it, no one can take that from you. I just happen to be lucky enough to have fans that love it.
As you were writing the stories, did you realize that you were empowering women or empowering the female characters so much?
Yes. Yeah, I just wanted to show more diversity when it comes to heroes and villains, you know? And that's why all my books center around people of color, mainly the women, you know? Just like Marcus had his book in book 1, Essence has her book in book 2, I wanted to show regular women, you know? Not all women every day are the way you see them on TV and in the media. They're not all gung-ho, cannons to the wall, in your face women, you know? They have different personalities. You can't just group all men and women into two little categories. Like, this is something men does, this is something women does. That's not true. There are women out there who like the exact same things and vice versa. That doesn't make them more manly or less feminine. They're people. We're all people. We're all the same. And I just the reason I have more female characters with better abilities is to show that, you know? It's not to go 100% all my books are complete feminists and stuff like that. It's to show that there are strong women in the world too, whether they're good or evil, just as well as there are strong men in the world, whether they're good or evil. We're all equal, you know? And that's I think really what everybody wants is just equality, to be treated the same, to not have that stereotype placed on them. Just because you're a woman, you have to be saved, or just because you're a man, you can't be saved, or you can't show emotion and stuff like that.
Can you give an example of a time where you felt powerless, and you eventually realize that what you thought was something holding you back, it really was something that was blossoming that, empowered you?
I feel powerless. The last time I felt powerless was honestly with every decision and choice I make. I constantly feel like nothing's gonna go right until I do it. So whether it's getting a job, working on some things for myself, asking someone on a date, I always feel powerless until I get to the end, to the response or something like that. You know, I'm never at a point where I'm 100% confident about anything I'm doing. It takes my fans, my friends, my family to keep encouraging me. And I don't like to use that as a crutch, and I don't see it as a crutch. I see it more as uplifting, filling a cup that has holes in it. You know? Like if you just imagine a cup, tiny holes all around it, put water in it, the water leaks out, and eventually it's empty. My friends, family, and stuff like that, my fans, they keep filling it up with water, so it never runs out. So that's how I just get over myself feeling powerless for all the time. You know, they're a constant source of encouragement and confidence for me.
Do you ever find yourself in a situation where you kind of relate back to your characters, where you're like, hey, what would Echo do in this situation, or what would Marcus do?
All the time. I can't really say what would Echo do most of the times because I'd probably end up in jail for that. But definitely Marcus, Essence, and stuff like that. I always imagine what would they do in certain situations, and sometimes I apply it and do it, and other times I laugh about it, and it just gives me more feeling to go through with it. But as far as what would Echo do, I remember I was playing Bioshock. I don't know if you guys have ever played Bioshock, but in the game, you control this person who gets powers and abilities and stuff like that from this thing called plasmid, and the way you get more Atom to fuel your plasmid is by either saving or killing little kids. And it was the first one of the game, and I texted some friends. I was like, so I'm at this part in Bioshock where I'm supposed to decide whether or not to kill this kid for more power or save her for less power. And I just texted them, what would Echo do? And somebody texted back, man, Echo would say, fuck them kids. Kill them. So, stuff like that. But yeah, I always apply my characters to my real life and stuff like that situations, because it helps me get through. Keeping an active imagination helps you deal with the fact that you're an adult, having to pay bills, deal with reality, and that just gives me a break every once in a while.
What do you hope that all of your readers get out of your Powerless novels?
What I want my readers to take away from my books is you can be and do anything you want regardless of who you are. That's why I have the main characters with powers you don't see too much. I want them to see that even though this person has a power that may not seem that good or that you can't do that much with, they still achieve so much. And you can too. Regardless of any special skills you have, take those skills, those traits that you think aren't good, and apply them to something to make them great. Essence, all her powers is invisibility, but she makes it work. Echo, she can make clones, she makes it work. She has it to the point where not a lot of people can mess with her. And I love giving people that confidence to be able to do something that they wouldn't think they could normally do. So that's what I want people to take away from this.
what's your craziest fan story?
My craziest fan story about characters from the book and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's two. One isn't the craziest. The one common one that I get is Moses should have died in the first book. That's one that people keep telling me. The craziest fan story, and this isn't true at all, I can go ahead and debunk this right now, is that for the people who haven't read book 3, they think that Essence and Echo are past lovers. That's 100% not true. Essence doesn't get down like that. Echo does. But no, they weren't past lovers.
Why?
Well, the reason I wrote Powerless was because I just got sick of seeing people of color portrayed the way they are in the media. You know, stereotypes. You know, when you have a white person create a person of color character, they usually just go with the stereotype of that character. They don't know how to write regular people of color. And that's what my books are. You know, it's just a sci-fi book with regular people of color living their lives. They just happen to have superpowers. You know, these are taken from the personalities of my friends, family. You know, I don't flesh out too much on anything. The way they act in real life is the way the characters act in the books. And that's it.